Sai Ram, everyone. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome Professor Anil Kumar Garu and Mrs. Vijaya Lakshmi Garu for this satsang. Collectively, we are all very fortunate to have both of them here with us today. We all know that Professor Anil Kumar Garu is a world-renowned figure and does not need any introduction. However, for the benefit of those who may be completely new to this satsang, I would like to briefly say a few words about him. He has traveled all around the world, spreading the message and mission of Bhagavan. He has spent almost all his life in serving the Lord. Professor Anil Kumar Garu is the chosen charismatic personality, chosen by our Lord, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba himself, for translating on the spot most of his discourses. In other words, without Professor Anil Kumar Garu, we could not have understood much of the discourses given by Swami in Telugu. The other thing that I would like to say about him is that he is like a pure gold. By working in close proximity of Bhagavan for such a long time, which is itself a tapas, one becomes tapta, that is perfected and purified by the heat of the divinity. As the goldsmith purifies the gold, our Swami has purified him for us to enjoy his satsang and listen to his glory. Professor Anil Kumar Garu has an innate ability to explain any spiritual matter in plain and simple terms with a pinch of humor in it. The last thing that I would like to mention about him is that not only Swami perfected and purified him, but on one occasion, Swami himself took the physical form of Professor Anil Kumar Garu and greeted all his guests, fed them, made them all happy, and blessed them all. Such is the Leela of our Lord, which we want to hear more and more of, so that our heart may also be purified. The life of Anil Kumar Garu and Bhagavan's Leela are so much intertwined with each other that it is impossible to talk about the one without talking about the other. The apparent distinction between the Lord and the devotee starts getting merged in one when the Lord himself takes the physical form of a devotee and takes upon himself the duties of the devotee. Hence comes the statement from the Lord, "Your life is my message." Ladies and gentlemen, with great respect and reverence, let us all welcome Professor Anil Kumar Garu for this satsang. Sai Ram.
गोविंद गोपाल हे नंद लाला गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल हे नंद लाला राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल मीरा के नाथ प्रभु मुरली गोपाल हे मुरली गोपाल मीरा के नाथ प्रभु मुरली गोपाल गोवर्धनोद्धार गोपाल बाला गोवर्धनोद्धार गोपाल बाला राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल हरि हरि राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल गोविंद गोपाल हे नंद लाला गोविंद गोपाल हे नंद लाला राधे गोपाल गोपी गोपाल मीरा के नाथ प्रभु मुरली गोपाल हरि मुरली गोपाल मीरा के नाथ प्रभु मुरली गोपाल गोवर्धनोद्धार गोपाल बाला गोवर्धनोद्धार गोपाल बाला साईनाथ बाबा महाराज को my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dearest Lord Bhagwan Sri Sathya Baba, Mr. and Mrs. Jagdish Upadhyaya, and members of the committee of hosts who have invited me to address this evening. Thank you very much, everybody, who are very instrumental in making this a reality. That's nice. Now the topic given to me, how to be an effective instrument. A good instrument? Good and effective? Or effective and good? Okay, in either way. How to be an effective instrument, effective and good instrument in the hands of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Baba. First of all, let us have some concepts, some of the examples, illustrations given by Bhagwan Baba in this connection. Let me recall what all he said earlier for your information. Bhagavan happened to inaugurate a big factory in Tumkur, quite close to Bangalore, in the state of Karnataka. And being a factory, there are many cranes there, and they're lifting bodies, keeping at different places, heavy boulders. I saw all that factor. And Bhagavan said in his discourse, the crane will never feel that it is lifting people or lifting huge boulders of heavy weight. It is not the crane that is lifting, the man operating. The man operating is responsible for all these weights being carried on to different places. That is an instrument. Swami gave another example also. Doctors make use of forceps, scissors, particularly in theaters, the surgeons. And doctor may pick up any instrument that he wants. There will be many sets. There will be 3 to 4 sets of forceps. There will be 3 to 4 sets of scissors, knives like that. He may pick up anything and operate upon it. The knife will never think that I have done the operation. Does the knife think that it is fool number one? Therefore, an instrument should never have the feeling of doership or kartrutva bhava. I am doing. At the end of the operation, the scissors or the knife will not say, I have done successfully. No. No pride because of the successful conduct of the surgery. That is bhoktrutva bhava, the enjoyership. So, instruments should not have kartrutva bhava, the doership. Similarly, instruments should not have bhoktrutva bhava, the enjoyership. And the next thing is, when one instrument is picked up, the other instrument will not feel jealous of it. Oh, doctor, you love that knife and you don't love me. There is no competition among these surgical instruments. Therefore, a powerful, effective, good instruments should not have competition among ourselves. If there is competition, we may be instruments, if not good instruments, if not effective. That there should be no competition. And then this kind of instruments, I can tell you how Swami referred to these things during his discourses. Particularly in Kodaikanal, he explains his own personal experiences, how we are all made to think that we are instruments. One example I'll give you. Swami visited East Godavari. You must have heard of it. Rajamandri, you must have heard it, where All India Conference was held long back. Swami wanted to visit that Rajamandri. There's one village quite close to that, by name Mittipadu village. One has to cross the Godavari river to reach that Mittipadu. Wow, heavy rain. Not the type of rain that we have seen in Dallas now. It rained heavily when we started, and on the way, half closer to this, no rain at all. That's what Mukesh Bhai was pointing out. Our friend Sunil Bhai was pointing out that point. What he said was, this is Dallas climate, unpredictable. Unpredictable. What, Sunil? And he said, this rain happening at the moment is the miracle of Bhagavan. Rained heavily there, so there, over here. This is happening. I would like to draw your attention to two important words. One is doing, other is happening. Doing is an action by the human being, while happening is totally divine. When things happen, meaning it is spiritual and divine. When you do anything, it is human. So these things are really happenings in the divine hands. So, it was raining heavily there, Godavari. When Godavari is in floods, you can imagine how it is. Now it is in floods, right now. Completely washed, marooned, the whole area is marooned. Then Swami promised to one engineer by name Shashagir Rao, who constructed a new house there in Mittipadu on the other side of Godavari. Swami told him, I will inaugurate your house. Gruha Pravesham, housewarming. How to reach that place? It was raining heavily. That to Godavari. Then Shashagir Rao came and said, Swami, Gruha Pravesha, Swami, it's raining heavily. I know, why should you tell me it's raining heavily? I am coming, Baba said. We'll go. Huh? Then another important office bearer, who is of the rank of deputy collector, came to Swami and said, Swami, we cannot travel now. There has been 3 cautions given by the government that we should not cross this river, Godavari, because it is in floods. No, we will go. That's what Swami said. We will go. Swami, we should have permission from the district collector to cross this Godavari river, and we cannot go on our own. Okay. He took permission from collector and wanted Bhagavan to give in writing that whatever that happens, we are responsible, not you. Then he came, Swami, Collector wants us to give in writing that whatever that happens, we are responsible. Come on, take down, I'll tell you. Nothing will happen, and you sign and give it to him, he said. Nothing will happen, you sign and give it. So that is written and handed over to the district collector. Having obtained permission like that, they were crossing the Godavari river. We should see Swami. వెళ్తా ఉండారయ్యా వాళ్ళ గుండెలు ఠా అంటా ఉండాయి. Though they were traveling with me, their heartbeat doubled, blood pressure multiplied. They were feeling that. Swami understood their problem and then said, I know you are thinking of your families. You are also thinking of the days that are numbered from now. Don't worry. Close your eyes, he said. Close your eyes. They all closed their eyes. This Swami said, this Swami narrated to all of us. This is not anything collected from the books or a hearsay, right from Swami. They all closed their eyes, and after 5 minutes or so, Swami said, now you open your eyes. Where are they? Other side, they crossed the river. And by the time they were very close to that Sheshagir Rao's house, engineer, whose house is to be inaugurated by Bhagavan, there at the door, Sheshagir Rao's wife was standing with a coconut and harati. Swami looked at Sheshagir Rao and said, you have no faith. See your wife? She's standing there. When I said I will come, she had full faith in my statement. So she's waiting there. Then you fellow are doubting whether we would be able to go or not. Men are like that. Man stands for wisdom. Woman stands for devotion. Wisdom always calculates. Wisdom, most of the time, it is selfishness. It doesn't go by total faith. Whereas woman, completely, 100% devotion. It's also true of Sai devotees. Most of the Sai devotees are in the organization or in Sai path because of the woman in the front representing the devotion. What to do? I should state the fact. Because there was let me complete this. Swami crossed the river and broke the coconut, took Harati, went inside and blessed all of them, had lunch with them and safely returned. In this connection, I should bring to your own notice a wonderful conversation that took place once, a kind of symposium or a debate participated by eminent people. Padma Kastagir, the High Court Chief Justice of West Bengal, and Jayamma Gopinath, the warden of Anantapur campus, V.K. Narasimhan, editor Sanatana Sarathi, and the humble self over there. I am the least when compared to all of them, in every aspect. But Swami wanted me to speak. What was the topic? Of the two, who is greater than the other? Man or woman? Huh? Vara Babu, tough subject. Very tough subject. I cannot speak on behalf of women. It looks awful. It may be a fact, but I cannot do it. And you should see Swami how he enjoys. Yemi Anil Kumar, Yemi, you say now. What Anil Kumar you say on this topic? Swami, man is certainly superior. And woman cannot equal him. For the simple reason, man has got all the physical strength to face this situation. And we have got Purusha Suktam there, Purusha. Swami was looking at me like that. Where does this fellow will take this situation? Purusha Sukta. And body is referred to Purusha. Kusa, sit down. Jayamma, nuvem cheptavu. Jayamma, you say what you want to say. Swami, Man is nothing in front of woman. I see. And encouraging her, he was looking at me. Your next chance, ready. And she spoke in support of women like that. Devi, the power. Devi, the effulgence, the radiance. Without that Devi, there is no creation at all. Without Devi, that power, there is no organic world. There is nothing like anybody, plants or animals or human beings. Without that energy, without that power, there is no creation at all. Woman is greater than man. Yemi Padma Nivem Cheptao. Padma Kasgir, Chief Justice, Bengal High Court. She stood and said, Swami, whatever may be, culture of the country depends upon the woman. The tradition of the country depends upon the woman. Bringing up the children, making them feel responsible citizens of this country depends upon the woman. So woman is greater than man, she said. Anil, they are saying like that, what do you say now? Swami, I can simply say this. All the problems in this world are because of women. Thank God that he did not behead me. Neither I had no problem at home because I was all alone in Kodaikanal. Why? Because if you look into Ramayana, Sita was responsible for Rama Ravana Yuddha, for war. Draupadi was responsible for Kurukshetra war. Women are responsible. Yemi Jayamma Nuven Yaptao. What do you say? She said, Swami, women are not responsible. It is weakness of Ravana that made her drawn towards Sita. Weakness of Ravana. Looking at me. Be ready for your next turn. And then said, this Kurukshetra war is because of this particular Duryodhana, who misunderstood Draupadi, who has misunderstood her, as if she laughed at him. She was responsible, Swami. So men are responsible for the wars and not the women. That's what Padma Kaskir said. And then Swami looked at V.K. Narasimhan, a great scholar in English literature. He went on quoting profusely from Shakespeare. Antony Cleopatra, the Hamlet and all that. Abbo, like cricket, he was, shata. I was almost sweating. What am I to do? Justice there, journalist here. And Jayamma Gopinath is MA in English literature, PhD in English literature. Not an ordinary lady. To face them is not ordinary joke. It's not ordinary joke. And V.K. Narasimhan quoted profusely from English literature, speaking in support of men. We got a good lawyer to defend us. And then Swami said, Anil Kumar, what do you say? Swami, if you take the number of people having heart attack, men have. Why? Woman cries out. Whatever feeling she has, she will openly, publicly, at home or in public, in private, she cries out. Man cannot cry. Though he feels like crying actually. Poor fellow. Therefore, he has to control all his emotions, so he cannot publicly cry, Swami. That is blood pressure, hypertension, heart attack, Swami. Take the number of cases. Oh, what now? Like that, a terrific war among the three participants on this particular subject. Who is greater than the other? Then I said, Swami, I think enough is enough. We spoke on behalf of men and they spoke on behalf of women. Now I want you to give your judgment. Because I want Swami to speak, you see, after all. We are not there to exhibit our oratorical skills. No. Let Swami speak. Swami got up and said, "Me andari gas aipoyinda? Have you got all your stuff exhausted? Finished? Is gas cylinder emptied now?" Now I am telling, Baba said, woman is greater than the man. That's what his final verdict is. More claps on that side. I can understand. Huh? Why? He went on explaining. It is woman who maintains the family in excellent way, bearing all the responsibility. In fact, the affluence and the prosperity and the status of the family can be estimated by looking at the woman. Therefore, she is called Griha Lakshmi. Griha Lakshmi. She represents the whole standard, the dignity of the family, the standard. Then he said, not only that, man comes and goes, he does his work, that's all. Whereas woman does all the work, completely. She bears the responsibility. And further, he said, he is an MBA without formal study and a degree. Because they maintain accounts, they know how to run the family. Therefore, she is Bharya, meaning Bharinsuta, who can bear the responsibility. Second point. See how wickets are going on from our side. And third point, what Swami said was, you see, it is the wife who prompts her husband to walk along the right path. To walk along the right path. She will not allow the husband to deviate, to divert, encourages him to go in the right path. So, she has got the title Saha Dharma Charini. Griha Lakshmi, Bharya, Saha Dharma Charini. We are feeling so bad. There are some boys also with us who are postgraduate students. I am afraid those fellows, sir, our case is gone. What is it? What the hell you have done? Then Swami looked at both sides. Life is a combination of both. Life is a combination of both. The matter and the energy. Matter is feminine, energy is masculine. That's the reason why Shiva has the title Ardhanarishwara. Ardhanarishwara, matter and energy. You cannot say this is superior, this is inferior. All are fine. That's what he said. So both the parties are quite happy with that judgment. And then while leaving, he came close to me. Anil Kumar, you have lost the case. You are feeling bad? No, Swami, I am so happy to have lost the case because you defended them. You defended them, therefore I lost the case. Or else I would have won the case. No. Nobody should win over anybody. All are same. Why? Because without them, the family cannot be run. Without this person, there will be no kind of, any kind of completeness or fullness in the family. Both are required, Ardhanarishwara. And then he said, unless you argue on that side, these people will not come to know all the aspects, the different dimensions of the subject. So you should speak on behalf of them, they should speak on their behalf, so that people will have complete understanding of the subject. Then he was about to get up, take Harati. Then I said, Swami, a small prayer. Chabu, come on, tell. Swami, most of the devotees, men in particular, they're all your devotees because of women. It's the woman who drives the husband to go to Prashantinalayam, to worship Baba, to participate in the bhajan. Most of the people I know, Swami, manchide naya, manchide. It's good, he said. And then, Bhagavan, you're mentioning of Ardhanarishwara. Both are essential, you said. The masculine, the feminine, or what you call androgynous God, Ardhanarishwara. Then, marriage system is very essential in community, I said. Marriage system is very essential for the society. Swami immediately turned back. What you are saying? Swami, I am saying marriage system is essential. So you want all these boys to get married? He said. Why not, Swami? We are ready to attend the banquet or dinner, whatever maybe we are ready. And darshan, so many have come. Just match the following as in the question paper. And then Baba said, marriage system is essential, as you said. But for those who want to remain a bachelor, I don't force them to get married. I don't force them. It is totally left to them. And moreover, marriage system is after all a boat that travels from this shore to another shore. This shore is Iha, the life here. And that shore is Para, life after death. So this is a complete journey from this shore to another shore. Dharmartha kama moksha. Dharma here, moksha there. Ardha kama in the river of life. Boat is your own body. That's what Swami interpreted. And then Swami, unless we say truths, we don't get it, Swami. We don't get the Vedanta from you unless we provoke it like this. Kindly excuse me, Swami. He said, no, adugutune undali, ne cheptune undali. You should go on asking, I'll go on answering. That's what he said. Therefore, the feeling that we are in instruments with a spirit of surrender. Tasmin pritistasya priyakarya sadhanancha tadupasanameva. O Lord, make use of me as an instrument in your hands for the fulfillment of your mission, to be active in your mission. Priyakarya sadhanancha, your mission which is so dear to you for the entire humanity, let me associate with your mission. That should be the prayer. This is the spirit of surrender. So, an effective instrument should not only be choosy, exercise, preference or the other. A good instrument should not compete with each other. An instrument cannot claim any superiority, any loss, or that it is neglected whatsoever. They are all ready to be picked up by the surgeon. Likewise, this kind of readiness should be there in our hearts as an effective, good instrument. Simple example. What do I mean by readiness? You know, you must have heard of Rama Brahmam, the caretaker of Swami's Vrindavan at Bangalore. Well-built man, very tall and of mango complexion. Though he hails from the south, he looks more or less as if he is from the north. Like that. One day Swami called him, Rama Brahmam, come here. That man went to the field that day and he cannot go like that. He should change his dress. So he changed his dress and then went up. Swami, you called me? Baba said, not now. I called earlier. Not now. This is readiness. When Swami says, you should be ready, give me 24 hours time. At least I know I need 3 months notice. No, immediately readiness. Then Swami made this comment. What was it? Some time back, Rama Brahma went to his field and joined his hands with other Sevadal members. They were getting ready a bore well there for the supply of water. They were digging with a crowbar. They were not getting any water, but they are getting tired. At that moment, they saw Ramam Brahmam passing by. And immediately several people said, "Sir, please assist us. You are really a great devotee. If you give one hit there, we'll get water." Is that so? He came there, took the crowbar, fada, he had it. Instead of water, he fell down. He fell down. And all clothes are completely spoiled. And he returned. And then, after changing his clothes, met Swami. Emaya, bones iriginaya? All your bones must have been fractured. I know. When you went there, I was there on the spot and saved you from these multiple fractures. That Swami said. This Swami reminds Ramam Brahmam, when you fell down there, I immediately was there on the spot to save you. When I need you, you need time to come to me. When I call you, you take some time to come to me. Whereas the moment you are in trouble, I am there. Therefore, a powerful, good instrument should be in readiness. Should be ready anytime, ready, Swami. I also remember Bhagavan asking one boy, there are steps there. Steps. And Swami was standing there, the balcony, and one student also was there. Swami said, "Jump from there." That boy was ready. Not necessary. I want to tell everybody, whatever I say, it must be done. There is no question of doubt. There is no question of hesitation. See, that boy was ready to jump. That is the quality of an effective instrument, of a good instrument. Beyond doubt, beyond suspicion, with affirmation that Swami is with him. That is the quality of an instrument, effective instrument. Instruments are just, we may use it, name casually, instrument, what? No. It carries a depth. There is so much of significance in that. I should thank you for suggesting this topic that triggers so many ideas, what all Swami said previously. Once he remarked about Anjaneya, Hanuman. Well, when he was brought to the court of Ravana, he did not introduce himself, I am that, I am that, I am that. Hanuman is very great. Buddhimatam varishtam, the highest intellectual. Ramayana Maha Malaratnam, the precious diamond in the chain of Ramayana. Nava Vyakarana Vetta, a scholar in all Shastras. He never said, I am so and so. What did he say? Dasoham Kausalendrasya. Dasoham Kausalendrasya. I am servant of the Lord. I am servant of the Lord. This should be the quality of an instrument. I am your servant, my Lord. Humility is hallmark of an effective instrument. I also know one gentleman sitting there close to Swami's interview room, I think he's state president, and he went on telling Swami, we have done that and we have done that and this. Do you think you have done? You cannot do anything, he said. You have not done anything. It's only I made you accomplish that. It's only I made you achieve all that. Therefore, instrument should not carry with feeling of I-ness or ego. Egolessness or this I-ness, identification with the activity, it should be completely free from that. That is the quality of an instrument. You must be knowing another gentleman by name Adi Keshavala Naidu. Adi Keshavala Naidu was an MP from Chittoor district, a very good devotee of Bhagavan. well-built body. And he went there to super specialty hospital to say hello to his classmate. His classmate happened to be Dr. Chowdhury, O.L.T. Chowdhury, who was the director, and both of them hailed from Chittor, classmates. He wanted to say hello. He said hello. And he saw Dr. Chowdhury taking what you call BP rate and all that. Doctors will take all that BP rate. And this Radhikeshwar Naidu said, why not you test my BP? After all, my friend, instead of checking everybody, let him have a chance of checking me as well. Immediately, Dr. O.L.T. Chowdhury checked and said, please go inside, he said. Why? Array, you will have a heart attack. You cannot go out. Go to inside. Array, yes, I tell you. I could walk this step. That's a different matter. I cannot send you home. It has gone up. Please go inside. He was admitted to hospital. The matter was reported to Swami. Dr. Chowdhury did all kinds of investigations, all tests required, and finally decided to conduct surgery, operation. The matter was reported to Swami. Swami is to be operated. I'll come there, said Swami. Where? I'll come there means what? Meaning, I'll come to the hospital. I'll come to the surgery. That's what he meant. Well, Radhikeshwar Naidu was taken to theatre and doctors came out. Dr. O.L.T. Chowdhury, they all said, Swami, we want to postpone surgery. Why? BP has gone up, Swami. Sugar levels have gone up. If this man is to be operated, we doubt whether he would be back among us or not. Unless they are controlled, we cannot operate upon him. This Swami said openly. This Swami said openly. What did he say? I'll be here, come on, do operation. Nothing will happen. Swami was there sitting on the chair for 4 hours. Successful. And he was very hale and healthy, lived pretty long after this surgery. And then Swami tells Dr. Chowdhury, everybody, you are the instruments, Ra. You are instruments. I have done it, okay? You are instruments. That should be the experience and feeling of every one of us that he does. And gives us the credit. That's the point. Unlike most of us who would grab the credit of others. Swami won't do that. He gives you the credit. One example. At the time of national conference and international conference, Swami praises the presidents, the conveners to skies. They worked very hard. Untiring efforts. For the last several days they have been working. If this conference is successful, it is because of their faith. Because of their hardship in the work. That's what he said. We know the truth. The fellows came there 3 days before the conference. 3 days before. Everything is planned by Bhagavan. Everything is done by him. We know after bhajan in the morning and again in the afternoon and again after bhajan in the evening, he will go around the whole campus. Watch how the tents are raised, where the kitchen is, where the North Indian canteen is, where South Indian canteen. Everything he will supervise. Electricals, water supply, everything. Try visiting every place thrice for 1 full month. Whereas he credits the office bearers. They have done a lot. It only means that creates a feeling of ego within us. When he says, you have done it, we don't think we have done it. Stop the whole traffic tomorrow. Tell everybody, I have done it. We know what you have done. Therefore, an effective instrument is fully aware that he does it and gives us the credit. He does it and gives us the credit. I'll give you another example. Because Kodaikanal, I followed Swami a couple of times, and he talks to boys every day, morning and evening, 4 to 5 lectures every day, conversations with him every day. And these things not known to many people, because private conversations, very nice, and we love them. In fact, one day, 1 year, he was speaking about solar system, lunar system, distance between sun and the moon, distance between Mars and the sun. Boys, sir, they told me, sir, the topic is too serious for the last 2-3 years. 2-3 days. We pray that you calm down, Swami, so that he would speak those topics that we would understand. Next day I saw Swami coming down before snack time in the afternoon, and I was waiting there. He knows, Etra, come on. Hear me. Why are you waiting? What's the news? Swami, talks are very nice, Swami. Those are things that we do not know you are telling us. But, hear me, but now. Hear me, what happened? Swami, sun, moon, stars, planets existed even before we were born. They will continue to exist even after we leave this world. We are not bothered about those planets, Swami. Please. Here, what happened? Yes, Swami. I request you to speak on Lord Krishna, Rasa Leela, Krishna's miracles, because you are very Krishna. We want you to speak on your childhood. We'll be very happy. We want you to speak on your trip to North India, to Simla, such places had been there. We want you to speak on your trip to Africa, East Africa, Kampala, Kenya. We'll be happy, Swami. Normusko guso. You shut your mouth and sit down. Okay, Swami, I will shut my mouth, but with a prayer that you should speak on these subjects. Believe me, he started speaking on those things from the very next day. From the very next day. Therefore, a kind of readiness, a sort of egolessness, a kind of awareness that you have done, that we did nothing. After all, we are nobody, Bhagavan. That kind of awareness. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, not your will and my will. That should be the feeling of an effective and good instrument. Another example I'll give you. You must have seen Hanuman statue there, Hanuman statue on the hilltop, Hillview Stadium. Hanuman, wow, the hero. Who is the international convener of Sevadal? Hanuman, not you and me. He's the international convener. That's why he chose to keep Hanuman. In what posture? One leg up, ready to jump. Means that we should be ready to jump into the field of service any time. That is the message of Hanuman. Yes. Apart from that Hanuman statue, how tall it is, you can imagine its weight also. That was taken in a truck, or I do not know. Swami was explaining. It was taken to the hilltop. Very good. Who will lift it? We should pray to Bhima to come down. Nobody can lift it. Impossible. They looked helpless. Swami, hear me. Come on, so let some Sevadal try. The fellows could not go anywhere. Because most of the Sevadal only are of our type. Just go there to serve certain things which are simple. Not lifting Hanuman. We can't do it. Then Swami got down from the car, stood in front of the Hanuman statue. Now you lift it. Taka! They could lift it. Yes. And they could make Hanuman stand straight and installed him there at the spot as we find him today. That is Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Meaning, he wants your participation. But things will happen as he decides, as he wills. That's all, come on. Do it. And all are very happy. Sir, we could do it. I know many of Sevadal because of my 50 years of travel in Saipat. I know many of them. Sir, we could lift Hanuman statue. I know. You are the only man to lift that. See, that is Maya. That's Maya. That's illusion. That dirty feeling of owning success, of claiming success. That is the nasty element. You cannot claim because he did it. You know Prashantalayam as you find today. That Prashantalayam as towers, gopurams, today you must have seen. You must have gone into the mandir also. Swami was speaking about it. The mandir was under construction in those times, long ago. And some beams have to be laid on the roof. Some beams. Where from can you get it? Where from can you get it? Well, Swami, his will, his plans are inscrutable. We cannot gaze, we cannot estimate. Swami said, just wait. Few fellows came, lorry drivers. Swami, what? We don't have petrol, Swami. We have to travel a long way, Swami. What to do? The lorries are here. How to go? There is no petrol. And Swami said, I'll give you petrol, provided you do one thing. What, Swami? There are iron girders there, near Tungabhadra of Kurnool. You bring them here and take as much of petrol you want. See, the divine plan. They made these fellows run short of petrol, without which they cannot go forward a step. And the petrol is not available. It was ration times. Swami himself said ration times. It was not available just like that. And then Swami, they brought all the iron girders, kept them there. And now they took the petrol and left. Who will lift and keep it on the top? Very heavy from that end to that. You must have seen mandir. Iron to lift up there is not ordinary thing. Swami was there. Right, come on, all Savadal, come on. Impossible. They could not move it. So heavy iron from that end to this end. Then Swami said, I know your problem. Just watch. Swami himself said. He started walking on the iron girders. That end to this end. That end to this end. All iron girders. Then said, now you lift. Shh, like that. Easily they could lift iron girders, keep them on the roof. Why? Swami walked. It is said in Ramayana, the heavy boulders are lifted by monkeys, not all by themselves. It is of Ramanama that made them to lift those heavy boulders. Like this, it is Swami's lotus feet that made the heavy girders so light for them, so that they could lift and keep it on the top. And then he looks at the Imra, Bhaga lepinare, you have done good job. You could lift and keep it there. Very good fellows. And gave them apples and cool drinks, whatnot. He loves them. We know that he has done it. But he gives you the credit. This should be feeling of an instrument, not claiming on his own. Because some people say that prior to me there is nothing done. After my taking over, these things are done. You will be over tomorrow. Where is the guarantee? Where is the guarantee? Men may come and men may go, but I go on forever and ever. It is like a majestic caravan that moves forward, come what may. I know One gentleman from Japan, Kobe, by Riko Hira, a trust member. In Japan, he made a statement in Tokyo, big assembly. We are thankful to Swami that he made us eligible to have his darshan, at least. Or else we don't deserve anything at all. It is his mercy, it is kindness that made us deserve his darshan. That should be spirit of effective and good instrument. I know that. That happened. There is another gentleman, a big doctor from California, LA, a big doctor, who brings every time equipment to the super specialty hospital and medicines of a sizable number. And he supplied equipment also. He is instrumental for the construction of that planetarium building there in Prashanti. Well, that gentleman was there, and Swami introduced him to me. Anil Kumar, you know him? You cannot say I know him. So have you come here to know everybody? If you say I don't know him, you see him every day. Why do you say you don't know him? In either way, you'll be wrong. So, give a half smile. It means nothing. Our students are very intelligent in that. Satya Institute of Higher Learning. Alright, boy, come here. Anil Kumar is a good teacher. Ebbe, he doesn't teach well. Colorless, waterless, tasteless face. That should be the expression. You know, because I have learned from them. I'm an extrovert. I can't hide any feelings within me. I have learned from those boys who seem to be much better than myself in hiding the feelings. Then Swami said, he is so-and-so. He is so-and-so. He brings implements from America for our super specialty hospital. He brings lots of medicines from there. That's what he said. He praised him in front of everybody. That man did not look around whether other people are watching him, Swami praising him to skies. We would have done it. That Swami praise you, but others also should see that. Because you are such an important fellow. He didn't look that side, this side, but he said, Swami, why do you say that? I have not given anything to super specialty hospital. I am sorry. It is our hospital. For our benefit, we are sending these things. But we are grateful to you that you accepted. That you accepted. Or else you can do anything all by yourself. That should be the feeling of a divine and effective instrument. All these things I really recall when Swami refers to these instruments. Yes. It was Ramadevi, the governor of Karnataka. At the time of the inauguration of super specialty hospital in Bangalore, she said, made a statement. It is not ordinary dais, Bangalore, Karnataka. We have the Vajpayee Prime Minister there, Chief Minister of Karnataka, and 3 chief ministers, 2 governors, they sat there. And the Ramadevi said it. Bhagavan, you could construct this hospital in a record time, less than a year. Whereas if government is to do that, it will take at least 8 years, Swami, he said. Wow. Claps mounted the air. And then came Vajpayee, the chief guest of the day. We don't find any such devotee. Man is very, very humble in front of Swami. To tell you one thing, he participated in Nagar Sankirtan in the year 1972 in Vrindavan. Nagar Sankirtan, Vajpayee. At the end of the Nagar Sankirtan, he goes to Swami and tells, Swami, summer courses, Indian culture and spirituality, are mostly needed for parliamentarians also, MPs. Please, why don't you give us some training there, he said it. And that Vajpayee, being the chief guest, what he said on the dais? Such a big project, such a big hospital of this kind could come up within a short time because of Bhagavan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba only. No one else can do it like that. No one else. At least Ramadeva is good enough to say after 8 years government able to do. Swami said impossible even if you are given 80 years. And then Vajpayee made a statement. I know, Swami, all the engineers who worked, all those people who toiled day and night, they served you as effective instruments in thy hands. Therefore it could take a shape as we find today. That's what Vajpayee said. A kind of a revelation to all of us, Swami declaring openly. I also remember other instance. These are all private conversations with Swami. When Anantapur College was to be started, Swami made a public statement. The college will come up ready by next year. Next year. Already he made an announcement. At the dining table, Colonel Jogarao came close to Swami and said, "There is no money, Swami, in the trust. No money. Whereas you made an announcement that college will be ready next year." Jogarao, చెప్పింది నేను, నీకెందుకయ్యా బీపీ? It was I who declared. Why do you have BP, blood pressure unnecessarily? ముందు బాగా భోంచేయి. Eat well, don't worry. Don't be under tension, don't worry. I made a statement, don't worry. After 4 days or 5 days, because Jogarao joins at the dining table every session, that man walking nicely. Jogarao, not a small body. 3 and 4 of us should stand like that. And he was walking happily. Swami watching him, Jogarao bale narustundave. Habib, you are walking very well, full of energy. Swami, emi 5 crores bank lo deposit padindi Swami. 5 crores are deposited in the bank to the account of Sathya Sai Central Trust. Mari emi BP tesukundave? Emi? And then Swami made this statement, wonderful statement. Jogarao, during Ramavatar times, monkeys helped. Demons like Vibhishana also participated in the divine mission. Birds like Jatayu also associated for the fulfillment of divine mission. కోతులు గద్దలు రాక్షసులు హెల్ప్ చేసినప్పుడు ఈ మనుషులు నాకు హెల్ప్ చేయరయ్యా? When all the monkeys and all the demons could help Rama, why do you doubt that human beings won't help me? Things will happen. Things will happen, come what may. That's who is to participate. It only means instrument should consider it as a big fortune, as a matter of privilege, a benediction, a kind of blessing conferred by him, not achieved by you. Blessings are not achieved. They are conferred. Because we are nobody to deserve that. And that whole college has come up within an year. That is Bhagavan's decision to get things done with the help of everybody. Many Sevadal all over India, they participated in that. The key, I'll tell you, it was the earlier period of my stay in Vrindavan, Bangalore, as the principal of the college, and it was vacation, and the students are participating in the construction of the super specialty hospital there. Swami called me and said, "You supervise how boys are working." I was quite new to Swami at that time. New in the sense, closeness. Though I have been giving talks right from 78, all these years, this closeness I do not know. But he said, "In charge, why not?" I just supervising how things are going. Boys are lifting cement bags, lifting bricks, whatnot, sand to the spot. Swami came, stopped there. Em chestha unnavu nuvu? What are you doing? Swami, I'm supervising as you said. You first to do and make others do. You first to do and make others do. That's what always Swami says. 3 words. Be, do and tell. These are 3 words he always says. You be good. Do all that is good. And tell others what goodness is. That's what he says. And then he called me and said, I can employ casual labor. There are many labor in the surrounding villages. Any number will come. And each fellow can do this work 3 times more than our students. You know that? I know that these boys are not that strong enough to carry on all cement loads and all that. I wanted to give them a chance to serve. Oh, Swami, they are doing nicely. It's not the way. He said, that's not the way of doing service. Swami, what? They should do bhajans, sing bhajans and do service. Sing bhajans and do service. Or else, if we do service, it is mechanical. It is just a physical. It is something like casual labor working. It's not like that. Singing is glory. Sing bhajans and do it. And he tells the boys to sing, and you also sing, he said. Okay. Not simply supervise as they sing. And then he said, in Prashantalayam, if you go to kitchen, you find so many women engaged in vegetable cutting, cooking and all that. You don't find any lady talking to another lady. They go on singing, go on singing Sai Bhajans. Therefore, karma and activity, unless mixed with bhakti or namasmarana, becomes mechanical, useless. If we mix it, wow, that becomes a fitting tribute to our services. That is the glory of Bhagavan. You sing and then do it. Then I told boys, right from that time, they started singing Swami's name and doing his service, which he could have done all by himself, calling labor to do it. You see that? In other words, an instrument should not only be good, effective and powerful, should also remind itself the need to be devoted, the need to be in singing the glory of the Lord. This is because it is a blessing, an opportunity given to you. Thank you, my Lord. And you should sing and participate in the divine mission. That Swami told them at the time of construction. I know that. But here, let's be careful. He knows who is the real worker, who is only a supervisor, who pretends to be a worker. It was very early period, 1988 or so. I went to Kodaikanal, and Swami acquired some more additional land by the side of that building, Sai Sruti. And Sevadal were working on the job, cleaning the whole premises. Where work is done, Swami installs himself. There's no doubt about it. I know that Swami will come there. So I went to that place. Swami will come there, we'll have additional darshan. Why not? I went there. Swami's car came behind. My Anil Kumar, ఏమి నాటకం వేస్తున్నావయ్యా, ఏమి నాటకం, వాట్ డ్రామటైజేషన్ ఇట్ ఈస్, బాగా నటిస్తున్నావే, యు ఆర్ యాక్టింగ్ వెరీ వెల్, డూయింగ్ నథింగ్. ఐ నో. Swami, it's true that I am acting, accept. But I know that you will come here. For that additional darshan I am here, Swami. Baga cheppinave, trick, he said. Few foreigners also were working there on the spot. One man by name Martin, who is the owner of a motorcycle workshop in Argentina, Buenos Aires. That fellow was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, working like anything. I could not do that as much as that fellow was doing. Swami went straight to him. But he did not look at Swami, because he was so busy with his work. And then Swami said, hey Martin, he called him by name. He came, hands full of mud, slush. He's working with the crowbar. Where is the letter? He wrote a letter to Swami. Where is that letter? How can he collect that letter with all these hands? His t-shirt has some pocket there. There he kept that letter. He went close to Swami and said like that. Swami picked up that letter as if he picked it from letterbox and studied it, read it, and looked at me and said, you need not ask. I know what you need. This boy has written a letter. He is totally immersed and forgot himself working here. But I know. There is the letter. That's what Bhagavan has said. In other words, Swami made one statement one time. When you do your work, it is my duty to do your work much better than what you would have done for yourself. We would have ended up in total failure. But Swami would do it double, in multiples, thumping success. One example. There is one railway employee from Vijayawada by name Sundaram. He has, to my memory, 2 daughters and a son. And the 2 daughters are to get married. Among the 2, one daughter is very fair. The other daughter is like any one of us, moderate. So everyone wanted to have the other daughter who is very fair. So the other daughter said, Daddy, let her get married. My turn will come later. Don't wait till then. Finish off. So they published the invitations. Subject to verification, I am giving the names also. I am highly cautious that I am talking to intellectuals in the city of Dallas, where people go by reasoning and the proof and the logic and rationale. Therefore, I am giving the names also. This gentleman got the invitations printed. He took 2 invitations, reached Puttaparthi to give it to Swami. 2, same. In one invitation, bridegroom's name will be on the top, bride's name next. In the other invitation, bride's name first and bridegroom name next. Bride side, bridegroom side. 2 invitations. Swami looked at both of them. This will happen, this will also happen, he said. Same match. What if also means what? This man thought Swami got confused. Because receiving so many letters, we can understand and pity him. Same people. How can you say this will happen, this will also happen? What does it mean? They could not understand. They're back home. Still about 20 days left for the wedding. One fellow came there. Sir, I want to marry your daughter. Any fellow cannot say like that, you see. Who are you? He made a mention of father's name. A very big timber merchant. He got 3 timber depots. Very rich man. Arey, you have come, okay, how about your father? I am nobody. I am working in railways as a booking clerk. Whereas you fellows have got 3 timber depots. I cannot run. Your father will neck me out. Uncle, don't worry. I accept. Come on, it will happen. And this boy conveyed the news to his parents. They said, naturally, no. Because they are rich people, he is NGGO, after all. Who will accept that? But this fellow came and said, Uncle, I am ready. I am the bridegroom, okay? I will marry her. That match also was fixed within a short time. And this Swami said, watching the invitation, was the first to take place, and the earlier one which they fixed was to take place next. So when the marriage was going on, nobody was there from boys' side. Because dhanamolam idam jagat. Without money, who will do it? So, everybody feeling very sad. What to do? Nobody represented bridegroom side. As the time is nearing, that auspicious moment of wedding muhurta kala, the right time, this boy's sister, brother-in-law, boy's brother and sister-in-law with their children, they arrived there. They said, arrive. Father said, no, don't go. But why should I lose this opportunity? Therefore we have come. Huh? After a couple of minutes, a lorry load of fellows came. Who are the workers working in the timber depot? 3 of them. 3 timber depot. They all came there. Sir, your dad said don't attend the wedding. But why should we lose our good lunch here? Let him not come. They all attended that. See that is the hand of God. He alone can do it. If I think I have managed to do it, the correct place that we desire to be kept is lunatic asylum. You cannot do it. The first thing that we have to know. That's the reason Shirdi Bhagavan said, lay all your burdens on my shoulders. I'll carry them. That's what Satya Sai Bhagavan said. Bring all your burden, keep me at my feet, and go forth with ananda, that bliss. That's what Satya Sai Bhagavan said. Therefore, the effective instruments are such that they will be able to carry the work in full faith, that they will carry on the work and he will come to the rescue, that he will take charge of it. There's no doubt about it. I give you another instance. Is Ramchandra Rao from neighboring place of my native place is MRO, Mandal Revenue Officer. He sings very well. He is my close friend. And he came to Puttaparthi applying casual leave for a week or so. But this fellow went on staying there. 15 days, 20 days like that. And finally Swami said, why are you here? You go back. All right. While coming home, he knew pretty well that he will lose his job. You cannot skip off your duty. You cannot be absent for long without prior notice and sanction. So this fellow got prepared that he will lose his job and thinking that he will be on the streets begging. All bad thoughts. Feeling very bad. By the time he came to the office, Pune comes to him. I'm telling his name also. Right? The Pune comes to him with a file. Sir, you said that we will go to camp from tomorrow onwards. Shall we be ready? I came only now. This fellow says, camp from tomorrow. Anyway, because he's a Pune, why should he tell all the secrets? Okay, we'll go from tomorrow. But he was doubting. Because salary cannot be kept for long in the office. When his money is not drawn, it must be credited in the bank. You cannot keep it in the office. So this man thought, since I was not on duty for 1 month long, I'll be losing this month's salary. TTD, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. Need to shave. What to do? And manager came and said, sir, I forgot to deposit this money there in the bank, Swami. Sir, this is your salary. I was not present all these days. And then you go through the main entrance where all employees sign in the register. All the days, there is sign of this man. All the 15 month. as if he was on duty, as if he was never on leave. See that? How to describe that God? How to understand Him? How to estimate Him? The only thing we can do is, sir, still time. He wants me to sit, but I said, still time. Because as I speak about Swami, I forget all these things. After there at home, I feel that I have my knees that are giving me the trouble. Not till then. Just as you have a charger, Swami charges me, that's all. That's it. So, He takes your form and does the work. How are you to believe? How are you to believe that? Therefore, total faith in Him. Why that far? In Srikakulam, there's one lady who was in charge of Mahila Sevadal, leader. She did her MSc in zoology. I know her. And she got married to an officer from State Bank. And she went to Swami and gave the wedding card. Swami said, very good, I will come. Swami going to come to Srikakulam? Huh? This girl believed it. Okay, Swami will come. Right? The wedding was going on in full swing. All relatives were seated while this girl was looking like that. Is there Baba anywhere? Because he promised. As Ghantasala sings, Nalugu rilo nanu nagubatu cheyaga na sayi nanu chera radaye. Swami, you want to make fun of me before everybody? You promised that you would attend the wedding and you are not seen anywhere. She was feeling so sad, but she cannot express it out. Because she says openly, groom's party will think crazy. One girl from mental hospital came here. She could not tell anybody, crying within herself. Then lunch started. You know, rice pudding, payasam. You call it payasam here also? A huge container full of payasam. They were about to distribute. There in that payasam, they saw the picture of Swami there. All lined up and had darshan. This picture of Swami lasted till the last spoon of payasam in that big container. That is Bhagavan Sri Sat Sai Baba. Because that's what had happened, we noticed. Well, I may give you my own example. Well, I had been to several districts in Andhra Pradesh, being the state president at that time. I went to certain places like Nizamabad, Adilabad, known for Naxalites. We have got all the power to shoot at sight, no inquiry. If they suspect Anil Kumar is an Naxalite, that's the end of the day. No inquiry. So I was traveling by car. By the time I reached, it was very late. Everywhere the car was stopped, everywhere. Because they were suspecting Naxalite movement on the track, on the way. So everyone stopped. Come on, put down the glasses. And then when they turned back, they saw Swami's picture in the car. They did namaskar, sir, go ahead. At 6 to 7 spots, it had happened. Go ahead, go ahead. Somehow I reached and wanted to pay thanks to Swami, and I came to Puttaparthi. Swami came slowly, walked to me and said, did I not tell you not to travel after 10 o'clock in the night? You would have been finished by those people, you know that? They would have shot you dead. You have not followed my instructions. In open veranda, what am I to do? I'm sorry, Swami, but... hear me. You followed me all the way to protect me, Swami. I'm very happy about it. Baane japta unave. It's very good. Very good interpretation. You followed me and protected me every moment. Whenever policeman stepped there, Swami, thank you. This is a miracle I experienced. Okay, but next time be careful, he said. If next time if I don't follow this caution, well, I won't be there next day. That's what he meant. This is my experience there. అమ్మాయి ఉండాలి ఇక్కడ ఎవరు బాల వికాస్ గురు అన్నారు ఇక్కడ స్వర్ణలత డాక్టర్ ఎక్కడ ఉందా బాల వికాస్ గురు ఇషి హియర్ they know pretty well because her mother was my student. They know pretty well what had happened. At another time I went to some Nizamabad and visited place and trying Sirisilla, all those places I visited and returning. What happened was, by the time I returned, it was late. Along with me was another very important gentleman, principal of Mrs. Avian College, by name G.V. Subramanya Sharma, a well-known scholar in Sanskrit. I requested him to attend the meeting. He was coming with me, but we returned very late to the station Kajipet. Suddenly, that Kajipet station master came out and said, "Are you Anil Kumar?" "Yes, sir. I could not attend the meeting this evening. People say so many things. Because I am on duty, I could not attend. Would you have some tea there?" He invited me to his office. I could have tea. Suddenly he said, "Sir, tell me briefly what you said there." I'm spiritually drunk. When I start speaking, it will never come to an end. That's why at every meeting I ask the organizers to let me know when I should wind up. And so, what to do? I went on speaking about that Swami and all the speech. That lady was very happy. And then, "Sir, I think train is ready. Train is on the platform now. We should go and catch it." I went there. The train came and left. Finish. It crossed the signal. Godavari Express in those days is the fastest express train in those days. It left the platform, crossed the signal. And the Subramanya Sharma, principal of Avian College, Anil Kumar, you have spoiled yourself. And you also have put me in great risk. You are prepared to lose your job. But I am not prepared. I am the principal of the college. The biggest mistake is to follow you. Then I was praying, "Swami, please save me. This man will remember my name throughout his life. You should save me." Believe me, I am giving the names also, because I know that there are some skeptics, the critics. Therefore, I always mention their names. What happened? The train that has crossed the signal started reversing. Antaranga Sai, Anadhanada Sai. Train will never reverse like that. That to the fastest express train, Godavari Express, started reversing. "Swami, thank you. You not only saved me, more so this principal. Somehow you got in the train and reached the destination." And when I came to Puttaparthi, Swami says, "You have no time sense." Correct, Swami. It is not my mistake. The sweetness lies in your message. Your nectarine message. Your message is like divine ambrosia or elixir. That made me speak like that, Swami. It's not my fault. It's all right. Be careful next time, okay? You are speaking with that ready in that station master's chamber and you are speaking like that. Huh? I had to reverse the train for your sake. You should never do that, he said it. That is Bhagavan. And there are other state presidents there, and they were just looking at me. It's a great surprise. Swami told them, "If you do my work, it is my duty to do your work. It's my duty to do your work." Some of us think that we are doing this work as social service, as people that kind of some service somewhere. It is not some service. It's not SOM. It is SUM, sum total. This number of experiences we have as divine instruments, I know a great, for example, Ghantasala Venkateswara Rao, whose name is there, whose name is heard all over the country and elsewhere. The great singer. He came to Puttaparthi in the last stages of cancer. That man may collapse any time. But anyhow, he came to Puttaparthi, sat in the line. It is usual with Swami to ignore you when you mostly need him. When you mostly need him, he will ignore you. So that you will cry more. You will be more, this fellow started crying helpless. Na sayi nanu cheyera radaye nannalarinche velaye na sayi nanu cheyera radaye. Swami, why don't you come to me? It is the time for you to bless me. It's time for you to comfort me. Why don't you come, Swami? Not only that, Indarilo nanu nagubatu cheyaga. You are making fun of me. Because all people know Ghantasala. Every fellow will come, Swami has given you interview. Why are you bothered whether he got the interview or not? That's why in my earlier days, I used to avoid Sai devotees. Don't attend Samiti Sai Center for some time. Because every fellow comes, did you get an interview? Another fellow, did you get a ring? Did you get a father? Shut up. No. If you come to a fellow who failed in the examination, did you get the gold medal? How does he feel? So I used to avoid. So when everybody started questioning Ghanasala, did Swami Ghanasala? He felt so bad. And he was given a room in East Prashanti, B floor, and he was staying there in his room. Utterly disappointed, frustrated, in the last stages of his life. He was just wearing a turkey towel and lying on bed. East Prashanti is very close to Mandir, as you know. Bhajan over, Mangala Harati given, and this man was hearing that. Suddenly, the door opened. He looked at that side. He finds Swami coming into the room. He sat on the cot. Ghantasala, I did not call you immediately because I want you to stay here for some more time. You have come after a long time. I want to have you. Therefore I didn't call you. Why do you cry like that? And then said, so long sun and moon remain, your name will remain permanently, eternally in the field of music. That's the blessing Swami gave to him. And then what happened was, he promised Ghantasala, I'll take you to Whitefield. He took him along with him to the Whitefield campus, made him sing. Then he composed this sing, Yantahaye, Inadu. What a blissful state I am today. Swami could talk to me. That was his joy. Therefore, Bhagavan knows what to do, when to do. We should have that patience. Shraddha, Saburi. Same thing will continue. All avatars. Same principle. Whereas we go on changing people. They don't change. Same principle. So how he blessed Ghanasala is very fresh in my memory. I also remember at my native place, M.S. Subbalakshmi visited and gave music concert. Big auditorium. M.S. Subbalakshmi music means is not ordinary thing. Fully packed. Yes, fully packed. And M.S. Subbalakshmi came. And then she said, her own experience. it seems, when she sang in front of Bhagavan in Bangalore, Swami materialized a diamond chain for her. And she said, Swami, all universities invite me, all hospitals invite me to raise funds. But no one gave me chain like this diamond chain, Swami. Then Baba says, Subbalakshmi, remember, my hand always will be on the top. It will never be on the low side. I'll give you, I'll give you. This is what Swami said. She spoke publicly at the meeting. Publicly at the meeting. There is this experience of M.S. Subbalakshmi. Really speaking, as I look at all these great people, where are we and what are we? What are we? Can you say that you are more than Abdul Kalam? See, we are nowhere in front of him. Can we say that we are better than Ghantasala? You may be at the best Vantashala in the kitchen. When Swami announced that there will be drinking water project which will be ready next year, there in the Hillview Stadium, he announced. Because I was translating. Two American ladies came there and stood on the dais, very tall, well-built people. They announced 300 crores for the hospital immediately. Immediately. That's how Swami acts. He wills, he prompts, he never asks. He never asks, he prompts from within. Therefore, my friends, what a fortune, how fortunate we are to have been the instruments in his hands, with all our weaknesses, with all our setbacks, with all our pitfalls, yet he forgives and forgets. He forgives and forgets. I know many instances when a fellow fell at his Swami's feet. Swami, I am a sinner, Swami. I committed so many mistakes, Swami. I committed so many blunders, Swami. Alright. You committed mistakes, okay. Why do you repeat the list once again? Ask you. Huh? You must have done so many things. Forget about it. You are a good boy. You are a nice boy. Huh? You'll have my blessings. You may go. Says the Lord, the forgiving Bhagavan. We don't find anyone of that kind. You may be whatever may be. There's one correspondent by name Thakur of the magazine, Current Magazine. I'm giving the names also. When he came for Swami's darshan, he looked at Swami from a distance. First time. Arre, he looks like a film star. That hair, is it original or a wig? That doubt he had. Sat in the front row. Swami closed him. Thakur recorded it in his magazine, Current Magazine. This he recorded. And Swami comes close to him and say, do I look like a film actor? Yeah. And there he writes, Thakur, he gently picked up my hand, kept it on my head to test whether there is a genuine hair or a wig. Swami, excuse me, Swami, forgive me. Parva nahi. You are a seeker after truth. You are a seeker after truth. That is forgiveness. A very famous man. Though I am a student of botany, I love English literature very much. I wanted to study literature, but my mother insisted that I should study botany because literature won't fetch you a job. Sciences will fetch you a job. There were days when still we were obedient in those days. Accept what our parents say silently. Those days are different. If I mention those things, they are unbelievable to the children today. I am also sure they won't attend my next meeting also. I have come across a magazine with English, beautiful English. I used to get by heart some paragraphs, some of the paragraphs in that magazine and share with everybody. What is it that is written there? I am an editor of a magazine. I am here. It is said that Baba would call the rich people first and the poor people at the end. It is said influential circles first and ordinary people next. That's what I have come to know. Having come here, that editor writes beautiful English. Having come here, I noticed that in Puttaparthi, in the early hours of the morning, the chirping birds on the branches of the trees all around, they make sounds orchestrating Nagar Sankirtan. What a melody it is, what a synchronicity it is. I participated and then sat there in darshan line and I saw Swami talking to poor people first, talking to patients next, students next, the VIPs at the end. And then he writes, as I write these sentences, tears are rolling on my cheeks. I am not able to read these sentences. I regret for what all I have written. Now I openly say, Baba is God. Baba is God. He is R.K. Karanjia, editor of Blitz magazine. Earlier he wrote, are you God or fraud? And today he writes, he is God. That is transformation. That is transformation immediately. Therefore, if there is any fortune in our lives, that is to be exposed to Sai literature, to have had his darshan, to have been blessed with conversations, interviews, to have been blessed with some of precious gifts, and have been blessed with the opportunity of being members of Sai Center and participate in Sai mission. A chance now lost, please take it from me, a chance now lost is lost forever, forever, ever and ever. That's what Swami says. Chikkina Swamini vakkaleyaka chakka chesukonandi. You have Swami with you, the precious gem, like Meera's song. Don't drop that. The precious gem of Sai. Don't drop it on the ground. Poyina chikkadu suma. If you lose it, you will not get it back. Parthi su seva yandi. That service to Parthi, Baba, you will not get it if you miss it. As your brother, I can also tell the same point. Time and again, come what may, let us not think fortune will make you a better devotee. You are a stupid one. It need not be success or fortune alone. Success alone. The success and failure, they come in succession, one after one. A fellow cannot have all success throughout his life, but his end also will be equally successful on the pyre. It's not the way, my friends. Let us not link our devotion to the fulfillment of desires. No, that is the greatest blunder. Our desires are something, and it's really something. What we can do is, oh Lord, prepare me to face whatever gift you have offered to me. Whatever thing that you are going to grant me, prepare me to face the situation. Rather saying give me income tax exemption, some promotion in the office, some visas to come off my children. See. Very, very basic things. Aim high. As Baba gave this example. When you know the district collector, do you need to beg clerks there? Some junior officers there? You know the collector, come on, he'll give immediately whatever you want. In a similar way, we know the president of presidents, Bhagavan Sri Satya Baba. He will give us whatever we want, whatever we deserve. He will give us the courage and the strength to face any situation in our life. Thank you very much for listening to the talk in rapt attention. Adisesha Ananta Sayana Adisesha Ananta Sayana Srinivasa Sri Venkatesha Srinivasa Sri Venkatesha Adisesha Ananta Sayana Raghukula Tilaka Raghuramachandra Raghukula Tilaka Raghuramachandra Sitapate Sri Ramachandra. Louder, louder. Hey, Sitapate Sri Ramachandra. Yadukula Bhushana Yashodanandana. Hey, Yadukula Bhushana Yashodanandana. Radhapate Gopala Krishna. Hai Radhapate Gopala Krishna. Adisesha Ananta Sayana Kashayambara Sri Parthivasa Kashayambara Sri Parthivasa. Hey Shirdi Pate Sri Sai Baba. Hari Hari. Hey Shirdi Pate Sri Sai Baba. Louder. Hey Adisesha Ananta Sayana. Hari Hari. Srinivasa Sri Venkatesha. Oh. Srinivasa Sri Venkatesha. Hey, Raghukula Tilaka Raghuramachandra. Hari Hari. Hey, Sitapate Sri Ramachandra. Adisesha Ananta Sayana Ayadukula Bhushana Yashodanandana. Hey Radhapate Gopala Krishna. Hey Adisesha Ananta Sayana Hari Kashayambara Sri Parthivasa Kashayambara Sri Parthivasa. Shirdi Pate Sri Sai Baba. Kashayambara Sri Parthivasa. Hari Hari. Hey, Kashayambara Sri Parthivasa. Hey, Shirdi Pate Sri Sai Baba. Hey, Shirdi Pate Sri Sai Baba. Adisesha Ananta Sayana. Thank you very much.